Hi everyone, welcome to part 2. Well, it's part 3, isn't it, really? But this is the second stream because the first stream got interrupted. So welcome back. Thanks everyone for joining me again. Hi Lou, hi Kenny and Nicotina, Phoenix, and anyone else? Kim, Dash. There's so many people already here. Shiny Star. Are you all composed? Are we all composed now? Hi, Sarah. Hi again, Robin. Have you stopped screaming now, Robin? Hi, Jerry. Thank you so much for joining me again. Hi, Ania. Welcome back. So we'll give people a couple of minutes. I'll explain what we're going to be getting into. Hi, Janet. Hi, Helly again. You calm down. Hi, Tammy. I know. Well, it took me hours. Hi, Adar. So it took me a few hours. I'm just going to move the camera up a little bit and just to the side, just to the side. All right, bear with me, everyone. There we go. Yeah, I love them. I love them. So our little golem will be here for Christmas. Just kind of want to stroke his beard. Am I the only one? Just stroke it. Oh, bless you. Well, I'm waiting for my tea fairy to make my tea, but he's just quickly munching down. Hi again, Karen. So yes, what we're going to be doing, and I need to just cut them out, but they're already done. My colour cards. It's a floor standing one, Robin, but I'm going to be getting another one very shortly. But it's a floor standing one. And it's brilliant. It goes sort of overhead. It's got a little bit of an arm, but not a huge arm. I'd prefer a bigger one. Hi, May. So I'm going to be upgrading. But thanks. That was from Susie. So cute. Yeah, just stroking a beard. Yeah, no, it's a floor standing. And if you're going to be doing that, I would say like eventually a floor standing one would be something if you want to have a bird's eye view. Or you could get a stick of some kind and make sure it's sturdy or whatever works for you. Hi, Katrina. Kim, I don't know what it's going to be. I think you just reuse my one that I just put on the side, but he's in the kitchen. So, yes, what we're going to be doing today is our hair. Now, Sirius or Sirius. Should we call him Sirius? Like seriously handsome. Thank you. Yes, I know. Me too, Shayna. And I'm so excited. And my smile's not wiped from my face yet. Hold on, everyone. So let me just adjust the lighting for you so you can see the depth of it. So it is really fiery red, as you can see. Serious black. Yeah. So I'm excited for furniture. You got the pencils, Stephanie. Yeah, they're brilliant. So I've just got the 48 set, and I've got them in this wrap, and they're really, really good. I absolutely love them. You can see they're, I'm starting to use them more, and I did my country charm picture in them, which Desiree inspired, bless her. She bought me the book, and then I did the page along with her. So these are the 48 sets. So you don't need the 70. I think it's a 72. You don't need those. Yeah, swish and flick. Yeah, I do. Swish and flick it. So I've got a little selection here of reds, and I do a lay down of a pink macaroon, which is a pale pink. You can see the tip. It's quite a pale pink. Oh, Christine, they're amazing. They're amazing. So those that are joining me on these, I really love seeing them. I've been so happy. Yeah. You're working on a Christmas gift. That's nice. What a big one. That would be lovely. Whoever receives that will be over the moon, Stephanie. Honestly. Okay, so I've got a black in there as well because that's just standard to do like the darkest of strokes. And I found, me personally, I use this dark purple, which in the Arteza is A088. You're gonna have to bear with me today. As I said, I'm running on 3 hours sleep and a lot of excitement, so I'm gonna try and piece my words together. And then I've got just 4 reds. You don't need the ton of them. These are strokes. These are more of a heavier lay down to get the very vivid red. Hi, Charlotte. Oh, how lovely. She will love that. What a generous, beautiful gift. Anything like that personal is amazing. So I'm just going to cut these cards out and we're just going to jump on in. I've changed my top because I was hot in that jumper because of all, as I say, I got excited. I was doing a robin and a Lou. Lou was bouncing on the sofa. So I was on the floor, face down, like, oh my goodness. And yeah, so I need to just chill out as well with you all and just colour for a bit. So we'll do these. I'm working on exchange chart for the Arteza. Start with Crystal Colours. Nice. That's a nice little project to be doing. Right, so how are you all anyway? I was jumping into all that. How is everyone and what are you all up to today? What are you all up to? Oh, they are amazing, Tammy. They are. Hi, Shara. Okay, so if I go from the table, I'm going to put my amazing tea and colour in there. But in the meantime, it's going to stay in the corner. I kind of want it so it's in the corner for a minute, just while we're sort of here talking. So I've got this, and I've just done these. For each one, I'm sort of putting the colours down and doing like a chart just for these and putting them on the back of the completed one. So I'll quickly explain what I was jotting down because I wrote, this is a tester page, as you can see. Oh, you're playing with the pan pastels. Nice. Yeah, I'm cutting cards again, all different sizes. Sorry, Leah, you're OCD. Okay, so I started off with a base of the pink macaroon, and it does literally just base it down so it brings out the vivid red. I've done lots of strokes in these. Then I start with my strokes in A001, which is a very bright blood red, I'd say. Hi, Rhonda. Then I go into the dark areas with A025, which is a little bit of a darker red, but it's like it's magenta, but it's more towards the red in the Artezas. Then I lightly into the highlighted areas, blend in the two colours. So the two what we started with, the macaroon and back to that, and it gets rid of the big white space. So just blend it in very lightly. Then we're going to go into long, big strokes with the A001, but pressing firmly. No pencil snapping, just press firm. Oh, happy birthday to your grandson, Katrina. Some strands into the shaded areas we're going to do with this purple. It's a very dark, like black grape purple. And that goes into these very dark areas here only, and not too much. So very selective on the lay down of that. Then we're going to go with some black into the small areas. So just a small amount of black, not too much, just enough to make them stand out. And then your red parts pop. And then last, I'm going to burnish the areas of the black and the darkest areas with the crimson. And that just created this really fiery red dyed hair. So it's not a natural red head. It's more of a out of the bottle dyed hair. You know how it goes. Yeah, it's kind of going to happen, isn't it, Pickle? We're going to try not to, but it's kind of going to. So that's kind of where I started with it. And the other night, I sat there and I thought, I'm just going to plan it. And this was before Pang knocked my behind. So I thought, oh, let me just go for it. So I'm glad I did that because now I know exactly where I'm going with you on string. So I'm just going to put a couple of bits of cotton. I'm going to put that to the side, Pickle. I really want it in the stream, but just to the side for a minute. But it's going to be my little cue, I think, when I go and pop the kettle on. Hi, Bella again. Oh, nice, Phoenix. The tester page was just me printing it off. I just printed it off twice. And it's Mariola Budek, and I put the information in the description. So you've had it this red. I love this red colour. Love it. So the information for the pencils I'm using and the images I'm using are in the description. So if you just cross the chat, drop down the description, you'll get it. And Lou's going to put them into the chat now. So I'm just going to get a couple of bits of cards placed behind this, and then I'll be with you, and then we're just going to get straight into it because it's not actually that hard. It's quite a nice, easy one to do. So I'm going to put a couple of pieces of card behind that. And I'm going to just put a clip. You can get a little, they're called little binder clips, or you can get a little bulldog clip, or you can get a little paper clip even, whatever your choice is. And if you're putting it, I would just recommend that you do so it cushions the behind of it. So just pop your binder clips on there to keep your pieces of card behind. And then I'm also going to put one there because we're not doing the skin, guys. We're just doing the hair. The whole point is the hair series. We can do the skin, you know, in our spare time if you want to. So on that note, I'm going to move that aside. I'm going to wait for Andrew to come with the tea. And we're going to dive in. That is what we're going to do. So are we ready? Are we enjoying this most of all? Are we enjoying the hair series? Because I'm really enjoying doing them with you all. I really am. So first of all, I'm going to put all my things out so we know what we're using. And we're going to start off with a lay down of pink macaroon. I'm going to put you and zoom you in so that you've got a good view. And we're going to, as I said, we're going to start off with pink macaroon. So hopefully you can see the number. Ah, good. That's what, you know, that was my whole intention, is that everyone's enjoying it. Oh, great. That makes me happy. Okay. So I'm also needing, there we go. I hope my face wasn't just blocking the camera there. Hiya, Ozzy. Well, Ozzy. I say Ozzy. Hiya, Ray. I'm so happy that you are. Hi, Anna. I'm so happy you're here. I'm doing that. That is 2 down. I'll tell you what's next. So we've got black hair next, which I know is a problem for me, and it was a problem for others as well. So black hair's next on episode 4. Unicorn hair is episode 5. So that is in 2. After this one, we got black, and then it's unicorn. So yeah, we are. Okay, so pink macaroon. I'm going to go, if there's any questions, put them in caps, but I'm not going to look up for a minute. So hopefully, if there's any questions now, ask away, and then, because my head's going to be down. And as I said, you know, anything, just ask away at the time. I will explain the pressure of my pencil, etc., etc. So we can hopefully get this, you know, on the road. Okay, so we have the pink macaroon in A083. All the Artezas have a little A before the number. So I'm just going to go for the bun first, and I'm just going to very lightly, and it just gets enough pigment on the paper to highlight the red. So you don't want to press too hard, but you want to get rid of the white space. The unicorn one, Martina, might be the Prismas, because they've got the best out of all the set. Apart from the Holbeins, they've got the best pastel tones. And I'll give you a sneak peek into the picture that I'm going to be using for reference. So I think I'll be doing the Prismas on that, lovely. Pretty sure I will. So I'm going to kind of use this one. Can you see that? But just a little bit more pastel toned in the blues. But I'm kind of going to go for that. You can see that. That's going to be my reference picture. So I'm going to plan it all out, and I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do, revert back to Prismas for that one. Artesia's is going to be luminant. Black hair's going to be luminant. Yeah, hopefully. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay. Put enough of the pink macaroon. It's a very pale tone, as you can see. It's very pale. It's not a dark tone. And I'm putting that into all my white space and not into my dark. Just into my white space, that enough that you can see that it's there, but you've also got it as your lightest area, because I don't want the white spaces. Your hair's not got white space, but your hair has highlighted areas. And that is why she's included it in her illustration. So I'm just putting that in. You could do this with a marker, a very pale pink marker, if you please, which would work just as well. So I'm going to do the entire bun before I move on to this. Hey, Dev. I know. I was just flabbergastiodos. Really was. So yeah, I hope you're well. Hope you're good. Hope everyone's well. So I'm putting this into the entire area of the bun. So just, I'm going to say a medium pressure. I'm not going to say it's light. It's not. I'm going over all of these white spaces. And it's just enough to put the pigment down. Sounds amazing, Martina, doesn't it? So into all these spaces here. You are going to come back to this to burnish it into those after when you've done all your strokes, but not harsh, just burnish enough that you've got quite a lay down on your paper. So go over all of the white spaces. You can go over all of it, the entire thing, but leave your grayscale. And don't forget, your grayscaling is going to be taken out with the red. So like here, you can see I've used the grayscale to my advantage. The advantage is that the red takes it over. So I'm just going over the entire area. And we'll do this beginning to end. And as I said, I try to explain myself. If I'm not explaining something well, shout it out in the chat. And if you're watching this back, let me know in the comments. But hopefully I explain myself, you know, enough that people can pick it up from me. As it's the whole point in this hair series. So I'm going to do bun first and then go on to the rest of the hair. This is quite an easy one because I've organised beforehand and not just gone in blind. It's a bit of a blind one on the Galaxy. But then I did practice beforehand, but it was nerve-wracking. I'm not, you know, it was something that I wasn't sure until I trialed it. But I love doing hair. Okay, so as you can see, there is a very light lay down only. It is PDFs. It is PDFs. Okay, so just for now, we've put our lay down of the pink macaroon. Then we're going to go in with the, see, I think it's 001 Rose Red, which is a very, in comparison to the other reds, you can see it's the lightest one. What, Bella, in the oh my, it's in the description, Dev, on the pastel one that I'm going to be doing. It's going to be a mixture of pastel tones. It'll be pink, blue, it'll have some peachy tones in it, you know, just a mixture. Okay, then I'm going to be doing A001. I know, Charlotte, I'm just speechless. Okay, so nice and sharp, and we're going to start into our strokes now. So I'll bring you down, guys. This is what I mean by I'm going to get the other tripod so that you won't have this like rattling you around. So you're going to go for a ride for a second, enough that you can see. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Because the other one I can just zoom in. Hi, Louie. Welcome back. So is that bright enough for you? Can you see enough? So I'm going to start with this section here. And into my grayscale, I'm now going to start to very lightly bring in, and it will take out the grayscale. See, automatically it's taken out the grayscale. Oh, you're welcome. I love doing these kinds of things, Phoenix. They are like an absolute pleasure to me to spend the time and you know, do something with everyone. And we've got so much more to come. And long may the blooming, you know, thing continue, the channel continue, and we grow together and learn together and have fun together. I'm so excited for it all. And yeah, hopefully you stick the ride out with me. So that is my aim, is that we have fun with it all. So I'm bringing up these strokes, and as you can tell straight away, all of these grayscale parts have automatically, I'm not Phoenix, no. I used to be a team leader though. I used to lead a team. So I'm bringing those strokes in, and I've automatically taken out that grayscale because it was like that. So you're starting to take that out. So use your grayscaled area as your guide. This is just your first go. This is your first pencil. See the difference already? Do I use a paper towel to smudge the colour? No, I don't use. What to lean on? No, I just try not to put my arm on it. But my suggestion is, if you find yourself like smudging, put your arm over something, you know, and put it onto the paper to do. But I can't do that on the camera with you, otherwise it will block, you know, it just completely block you out. Yes, Shara, she is amazing. I think Belinda is amazing. So I'll certainly be heading over to that lovely lady. Okay, so I'm now bringing in all these strokes, and I'm going at a medium pressure. So again, I'll show you for those that are new. It's like that. I'm not pressing like that. Martina, I'll let you know the colours prior. I'll put them up like I did with this one. Is that, you know, like I did on the community setting now. So if you look on the channels now, guys, all of us are pretty much using it. We'll let you know in advance what we're up to, or, you know, what's happening, the events, and I'll put up prior to what colours we're using. Welcome back, Susie. So I am just going into all of this grayscale area with this rose red. And I'm taking out the grayscale, but with a medium pressure, because you will automatically do that if you use the pressure that you're going to use in a medium way. Don't burnish the paper, don't press hard, because you're going to take it out. You need to have a sharp pencil, guys, because you need to see strokes. So straight away, you can start to see, bring it up, you can start to see the strokes coming down. You've got to make them quite visible. Yeah, just, it's all, I mean, Pickle, you have fun with your pictures, which is the main thing. You know, don't put pressure on yourself, lovely. So if you wanted to try, just take the pressure down, that's all. Your pictures are lovely. Don't ever think differently. And the thing is, you have fun. Like you say, you slap it on and that's fun. That's fun, you know. You don't need to worry about it. That's why I say every channel serves a purpose, because everyone does things or teaches things or does things differently. So you're never like a pea in the sea, if that makes sense. So, you know, if you've got a big ocean and you're a little pea, that's not the case. You're serving a great purpose towards like your own hobby. You're serving a great purpose to other people. So don't be so hard on yourselves, guys. That's my little piece of advice. So bringing these strokes down and allowing the grayscale to go. We're going to just stick with the rose red for now. And just bring in the strokes. It applies though, doesn't it? It applies. So that is all I'm going to do on this part. So I'm doing the same repetitive pattern, and remember, I'm going from a point when I bring my strokes up. So this isn't how the final is going to look. You've got to add all your other colours in yet. Yeah. Do you imagine a gradient on top of your head first, or randomly stroke? No, I imagine the gradient. I've got like a vision in my head of how I want things to be like. So when I'm looking at something, it's generally how I look at it. And remember, lovelies, just stick it in caps if there's any questions towards me or if it's anything aimed at me so it catches my eye. Otherwise, I might miss it. Okay, so again on this part, we're going to bring those strokes up. And when I'm coming up, I'm releasing my pressure of my pencil. So when you're coming up on a stroke, kind of leaving and you're allowing that pressure to sort of glide off. No, it just means when I say that, Susie, a P and the C, it means so like I say I'm a P, it's like a P and the C, it means nothing, you know, you wouldn't see it. So it's just an expression. It's just an expression that I use. Okay, so allowing that to just glide down and release your pressure of your pencil. So you're flicking it up as you come, really. So imagine a flick, you're flicking. Yeah, like, or a chocolate teapot. Yeah, it would be pointless, you know. That's right. So just allowing that to go over. So you can see already we're building up that. Now you want this part as kept as white for now. That's okay, Catherine. Thanks for joining over. So leave that part at the moment because you've still got other colours to be introduced. So at the moment, we've got this. We're going to end up with it more deepened like this. So it's a matter of building it up. So again, with this part, you're going to bring some of those strokes down. I have to turn it slightly. So I'm going to, there you go. We're going to bring those strokes into those areas, but there is lighter areas. So I'm going to release the pressure very, 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 very lightly there. And then you can sort of bring those strokes into those dark areas. Now, there's points in these dark areas, and I would suggest just using those and fanning it out. So you're fanning out from a point, and it kind of keeps to a pattern. So just fan out as you're doing your strokes. Oh, I love them. The Artezas are amazing. Oh, nice, Janet. So you just completely bring that in. I think, have you not got them, Dev? They're amazing. They're amazing. Anyone that has wondered about the Artezas, they glide and they are just brilliant pencils. They compare, trying to think, they're more in comparison to polys than Prismas. They're more harder than Prismas, but they layer, they blend, and they pretty much go down on all papers that I have tested so far. So is this Tina, and is it Tina today and not Nick? So hi Tina if it is. So with these light areas, you can put the crimson in there, but you're just very lightly putting it in so that it keeps as your highlight. Yeah, so very, very lightly. With your darker areas, your grayscale areas, you can press down that tad more. So, and bring those colours up. And the same, you're going to meet this in a minute. So you're going to come to this area, go from a point, fan it out, and kind of join and flick. But when you're flicking, release your pressure of your pencil. So as you're bringing your stroke down, you're starting with a point and flicking out. Starting with a point flick, starting with a point flick, and that's just remember that in your head as you're doing it. If you're new to hair, you can apply this to other hairs. You don't, have to do a grayscale. Yeah, hiya Tina. I never know which one I'm talking to. Okay, so keep with that, and you can fasten it up a little bit. Once you get confident, you can kind of speed your fingers up. Like got Duracell battery on your finger, and you're speeding up a bit. So, and you can kind of still keep with that flow. And you can hear. And then I've still got that nice big shine in the middle. Okay, Charlotte, I'm waiting for my tea fairy to hurry up his little legs. Don't know where he's gone. So in that section there, I'm bringing in the red, but again, it's lightly. So as you can see, into this area, it's a lighter red because it's got no grayscale. So you keep with that. And then I'm just going to reapply a little bit over these areas here. And then again, I'm just going to bring some of that down. So you're keeping with that, guys. Then this one here, we got a really big dark area, haven't we? So you're kind of going to go with the flow of this one and keep this part dark. So you can bring your red in into these little bun bits here. I'm going to keep a firm pressure there on that part so that we've got the difference between the diagonal, because you've got them going in all different sort of diagonal, up, down, round. It's a bun. So press firmly there to remind yourself that that here is a separation between up and across. Now you can bring all those strokes along. And I love to hear when people try this out and see what they think, even if you're writing the colour combinations down. They're fun to do. So just bring those colours together. You've got the pink macaroon that's already laid down to stop your white spaces. This is quite dark, so you can just follow that, but keep the strokes. You want to see the strokes. The strokes are still visible. I personally wouldn't, because it would just stand out, Louis, but it's up to you how you would like to do it. If you wanted a two-tone hair, you could do it with black, but we're going to put black in that area and you'll see it wouldn't shine. Yeah, it's more for shadowing it up, for doing dark areas. You'll see as it goes on. So allow those parts to have a lighter area by releasing your pressure. Again, I'm going to release my pressure into those and just fill it in. And then we're going to bring our strokes back. And you're just going to continue that pattern as you go up. So keep with all of these strokes as you're going upwards. Keep with all of the highlighted areas as you're going upwards. And just continue with it, and you'll find that you'll get a pattern as you go. And I'm slowing it down because I'm, talking. But if I was sitting here, I would be going a little bit faster. So you can see I'm stopping where the shine is. And each time you'll see that I'm stopping where shine is. So imagine you've got a little boulder there, and that's your stopping point. But where you get the confidence as you go along, you're stopping anyway. So press a bit firmer in certain areas where you want dark. Follow the dark and the grayscale by pressing firmer, and then release the pressure on the areas that are highlighted and the shine. So we call it the shiny bit. So you're just working your way up. And remember, everyone, sometimes I'm not in chat for a minute just so I can get this done with you. I will look back though. Okay, so again, you can see I'm pressing firm. And these areas here, I am going to put some strokes, but I'm going to do them lightly. So they're a different pressure altogether. You want those as highlights. So you can see the difference already of where the highlights are. And then again, I'm going to sort of bring that stroke there of the upper part. So that's my different sort of, it's a line, it's a barrier, isn't it? And then these parts, I'm just going to bring some strokes into as well. So you're just kind of going with the flow on it, but allowing those strokes to be visible. Yeah, it does. To kind of build your layers up does help. So again, we've got these parts here and you've got darker areas. So I'm just going to follow that. And flick it out. And with those, you can sort of a little bit lighter, heavier pressure there, and just keep following that. And you'll find that you'll get a little pattern going. You really will. It will become something that you just sort of very sort of repetitively, but it's quite therapeutic you'll be doing. So you're going to get a pattern going and you're going to follow all of these strokes that the artist has laid on the page for you. So you're following my sort of pencils going in all directions now. I'm following the pattern that she's done. See? And now we've got that middle part. Well, May's named him Sirius. We've named him Sirius, Susie. So he's called Sirius. Why so serious? But he's got a beard. I love it. I'm stroking. See you later, Shayna. Hi, her. Okay, so again, I'm coming up. I've not changed my pencil. And I'm just releasing the pressure onto the white areas. We'll say the highlighted areas because that's what they are really, aren't they? And then I'm pressing a little bit more firmly on those lines and I'm going exactly with the direction of the hair and releasing it. Hi, Dr. Mum. Welcome back. You've made it back. Okay, so again, just release the pressure off. And it will really start to pop when you add all your other colours. And it is a slow process, you know. No one said it was going to be quick. If we're here 2-3 hours, we're here 2-3 hours. As long as you're good with that. I mean, it takes practice, doesn't it? And it takes layering. But you can also just do markers if you want to with grayscale type things because the grayscale's there. It's pretty much done for you. But if you want to do this, you can. Hi, Laurie. Yeah, usual one, Susie. I'd like to do this on toned. I think that would be quite cool. But yeah, just my usual one. Okay, so I'll put the link after in the description. I've put the link for the image and I've put the link for the pencils, but I've not put the link for the cardstock, but I will do. But as I say, so just give me like an hour after the stream because I have to tidy up and whatnot. And then I sit down, I'll get a cup of tea. Sometimes I have to stick the dinner on and then I'll quickly update the description. So with these parts, I'm just going to add a little bit of the colour in. Hi, Amberly. Oh, I'm going to put that there. Hi, Norma. So I'm just coming up with those colours there. And as I said, these light areas, you can put the pencil in and make sure it's sharp, but allow that to have highlights as well. And you'll see all the difference as we go through the colours. Again, I'm just going to bring that up into these. And if you suffer with any problems with your hands, you can do this over a matter of days. You don't have to do this all in one go. Or you know, it is harder on the hands, but it's not, you're not pressing hard. You are medium pressure, but it might take you a bit longer. But don't let it put you off. If you can handle it and you're, you know, it's something that you feel that you could tackle, then please do. Because I think the reward and the path, you'll be so happy with it. Okay, so I'm just putting those in on those parts where we've got the dark areas. And I'm leaving the whitish areas. Yeah, you could do a marker base. I'm going with the direction. I'm going with the direction. So I'm going with, use the direction of the hair strokes that the artist has given you. So like she's giving you here the direction to go up. So we're going to go upwards. If you're going from this part, again, you're going to start following the direction of the hair that's going in that direction and bringing those up. I've got to sharpen again. So you're using that to go with. So just making sure it's nice and sharp. And that's another tip with this. I find sharper pencils best because you're not pressing hard on this. You won't snap them. You're only going with a medium pressure. Okay, so again, you can join that down and sort of have that little part in the middle there. And then I'm bringing all of that into the hair. And I'm going with the direction that the artist has given, and that's the key. So there's all different directions here, and you're going quite medium pressured, not too hard. So you're allowing that to take the grayscaling out, and this will be your grayscale in this red. So you have to be a little bit patient on this part, because the bun, this is quite easy at the bottom because it's the same. You go in the same direction, whereas the bun has got like a million directions to go in. So you're just going to go along with it. So you're meeting top to bottom, and stay with the pattern of it. So again, I'm just releasing it on those parts, joining it up, but releasing the pressure. And then these parts you'll see are a bit lighter. So you can bring your strokes in, but you aren't doing them heavy, yeah? So go from your point, and as I say to everyone, so when you've got a point, it's 160 gram, yeah? So this is my point, for instance. I'm sort of going, you know, like I say on everyone, I'm going from that rather than strokes. So it looks like it, but if you see, I'm sort of going from this bit, going upwards. So I'm kind of keeping with the pattern. Yeah, see, it depends on your printers, guys. If you've got a printer that will take up to like 200 or 250, which is going up towards watercolor paper weights, you can do that. Mine personally can only take 160 gram. Oh, Andrew's making the tea. Woo! Chip, please stop barking. So I'm just putting that into these areas. And I'm going to have to turn the paper. No, I'm not. I don't sketch. Don't sketch. I used to. My mum said, so guys, did you, I don't know if you saw in the Reading with Pugs group, my mum sent me a picture of what I did when I was very, 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 very young, when I was a little child, of Barbie. And it's the origins of Colour and Chat with Sammy. You'll laugh at it. Don't know if anyone saw it, but oh my goodness. Okay, so in these areas, I'm just going to very lightly colour that. Yeah, my mum showed me. I was like, oh my goodness. Okay, Barbie. Every girl loved a Barbie. I mean, we didn't grow up with tablets and phones and iPads and computers. We grew up with going out with your friends, playing knock down ginger to annoy the neighbours. And, you know, you would draw and sketch and do stencils and spirographs and etch-a-sketches, and you know, that came when I was a teenager, not when I was a child. So when I looked, I was like, oh my God, now kids don't really get out as much because they're more technology sort of based, and that's fine, but it's a different era altogether, isn't it now? I skipped that era. I skipped the era of all that. I was more in the go out, play. When the street lights came on, that was your time to get in. You know, it was fun. It was fun. Knock Down Ginger was a silly game that we all used to play where you'd knock on the neighbour's door and run. It was bad, but that was when we were kids. You know, we used to play rounders and tennis down at the garages, and we had fun. All right, so with that, you can see it looks more solid, but you'll get the difference in the graduation when you put in the other pencils. These are going to be a little bit lighter, so we'll keep these as such. So do your strokes on these areas, but do them lighter. And again, with this, I'm going to have to turn a little bit. Yeah, that's the one. And it's bad that we used to do that, our poor neighbours, eh? But it was when you were children. God, if someone did that to my door now, I think I'd be like the Grinch. And you know, but You don't see kids out anymore. And when they are out, I don't know if you've noticed, but everyone's sitting on like iPads and phones now. They don't actually talk around a dinner table at the restaurants. And I'm like, put your phone away. Okay, I've got a rule. Don't have the phones at tables. So I'm putting these strokes in very lightly. It's amazing what kids have got now. You know, they've got an iPad. I've got one that doesn't work. It's crazy. It's crazy. And you get a kid of like 6 who's got the latest iPad, and I'm like, what's happening? What is happening? What's happening in the world? Okay, so as you can see, I've gone very light on the top of that. See you later, Susie. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know how much I'm so appreciated. I've just appreciated it so much. Why? Okay, so I'm just putting in. Why is she going to do what? Because of knockdown ginger. So left that area quite light. This one is a lighter grayscale. A lighter grayscale. Hold on. What, did I miss a comment of Mum's? Or is she telling you that she's going to whip my behind? Okay, so as you can see, I've left that area. This bit is very heavily grayscaled. So I'm going to add that in. And I'm going to be quite firm here, but not hard. Firm enough to make a difference. And just allow those strokes. Hold on, Andrew. Thank you. I'm so thirsty. Thanks.
Sorry, I forgot.
Did you hear that, everyone? He forgot. He forgot about me. I told him I'm swapping him. He's I'm retiring Andrew and getting a mail order husband. You now forgot my tea. That's not on. No, I've got it now. I've got it. He bought me it. Yorkshire tea. Yeah, it looks lovely, doesn't it, the bun? Oh, Lou. I'm sure my mum did it as well when she was young. She's not that innocent. Okay, so here I'm going to press firmish. And because it's darker grayscale, flick it up. Flick it up. When you get to this point, flick it up. So you can see. Did Desiree make it back? Bless her. I didn't see her. Okay, just allowing that to go into that part. Swish and flick. Yes, Shara, you know my sayings by now. You did say sorry. I'll allow him. I'll allow him. He's allowed off the hook this one time. Okay, so I'm just going to very quickly just allow some more strokes into this part and bring it into there. So that's all I'm going to do with this for now on this colour. Okay. See, my mum used to do it. She's a rebel. Okay, so then I'm going to go over to 025, which is magenta, which is a pinky tone, but it's not. When it mixes in with the red, it's really nice. So I'm going to add some of this into the dark areas only. So now I'm going to be looking at my grey scaled parts. So the parts that we've put a heavy lay down, and if you are, doing this, you want a heavy lay down section. So these parts are heavy. This part's heavy. This underneath is heavy, and these parts are. So when you're looking at it, you're still going to go with a medium pressure, but you're putting it only into those areas. So now we're going to start to bring in a firmer pressure, but enough to show this changing of the colour. So we're putting a pinky tone to it, but once you add the other reds and the purple, it will change it up. So put it into these areas and bring them into the highlighted areas as well. So allow that pressure to come down and sort of fade it out. As you're flicking out, it really is a case of release the pressure of the pencil and just follow that down. Follow it down. And then this part, I'm going to kind of just put a little bit. So I'm going to meet it around there. And it starts to change the tone. It's adding a little bit of a different colour. Yeah, we're going to bring in more layers. That's exactly what we're doing. We're bringing more layers in. Same with this part. So we're bringing, you're starting to layer up. So again, you've lost your grayscale on this bun, but you haven't. Because what you're doing is with the grayscaled areas, you've now grayscaled it with red. So you're using the same technique as you would if it was just like this underneath. You've still got your grayscale. You've just grayscaled it out with red. So I'm bringing that magenta in. And you can be generous here. But if you notice, I'm not putting it into... You can hear it. If I stopped talking, you probably would. See? So you're just bringing that down. You're going to see a few of the strands. If I bring it up, you'll see a few of the strands in there as the magenta. But you'll see it more if it's sitting in front of you. And be generous. Be generous with your pressure. So again, I'm going to bring from my point. What you all sort of fill me with what you've been up to, like lately, how your Thanksgivings were, what you've been up to. You know, even in the comments, if you watch this back, you know, I like to sort of learn and listen. And the chat pack was fun because I got to sit and talk to you all. Okay, this part here is darker. So again, you can use your finger as like a point. And then you can't sort of go backwards. You've got that as your, I'd say it's like a guide. And the same with this part. Yeah. So you're starting to layer up the colours now. It's starting to come to life, isn't it? You listen to my podcast, Pickle. Thanks. You know, sometimes I forget I did that. I forget I did it. I think, oh, did I? You had a lovely Thanksgiving. You don't celebrate it in Indonesia. No, we don't in London either. Yeah. I'm so glad you enjoyed it, Louis. Oh no, Bella, wish you better. Wish you better. These areas here at the top, I'm going to not go to this till last. This area at the top here, let me bring my lamp over. Is that nice and bright for you? So you've got a section here. I'm trying to do it so you can see. That is darkly grayscaled. It's got a heavy amount on her image, isn't it, when she's sort of done with her pencil work and her line art. So again, meet that down. Yeah, the podcast was a ton of fun to do. A couple of us have done it now. I loved Jen's. I think she needs to get Dee Dee on it. I loved Hannah Lynn's. Did you listen to Hannah Lynn's? I absolutely loved Joanna Basford's podcast. And I'm so honoured that I was part of something like that, because you've not just got the great colour and book artists, you've got colourists in there. And to be asked to do that was amazing. To be part of something that, what started off us in colouring, most of us, was Joanna Basford, you know. And I'm part of something that Joanna Basford was a part of. And I was like, oh my God. It would be so different now, I think, because I've been on the channel for a long time, well, a year in comparison. Chill out now, Pickle. Pain days are no fun. I saw you were struggling. I hear you, girl. Okay, so we're going into with magenta, and the same with this part. So I'm bringing up those layers, and I'm starting to layer up with the different reds and pink tones, and we're going to have a bit of purple in that, and you'll see it comes, the pink, purple and red mix makes it pop. Makes it pop. So again, I'm going to bring up to this area at the top and bring down those magenta strokes, sort of add it in. Yeah, and the same with the tops. I'm kind of just going along with the lines, and the same here. You want to bring in that so that you've brought it up, you've met it in the middle, and don't be afraid to sort of show the strokes. That's the whole point. You're showing the strokes so that you can see. So is it all like looking like it's coming to life a bit now? So as I said, we'll do the bun first. We'll move. This is repetitive, this bottom part. So the bun is the trickiest. This takes the longest. So again, don't forget you can share your images with me in the groups over on Instagram and over on Colour and Chat with Sammy Adult Colouring on Facebook. Although I'm mostly active in the Reading with Pugs colouring group. So it's Reading with Pugs, all one word, space, colouring without the U. And it's lovely Jen over Reading with Pugs. If you're not subscribed to Jen, go and subscribe. Because where you been? She was the one that actually got me into colouring on the channel. I'd been colouring prior to that for 3 years. And Jen was the one that encouraged the channel. And I wouldn't have a channel if it wasn't for Jen. You're amongst friends, Pickle. We're all in it together. I say that all the time. Okay. So again, I'm just bringing those. I'm pressing quite hard now. You can hear that? So I'm going along with those grayscale areas. And I'm pressing very firm. Now, this part here, because you won't see that, we're going to burnish that out. No, this is still the second magenta. So we're going to move to the third colour in a minute. This part I'm going to press firmly. Now, with these, I'm now going to meet this way. You won't see the pinky tone to it as much in a minute. You'll see why, because we add the reds. So you can see now, coming to life. Now you're to the third colour. Now the third colour is A049. If I can find my little card. Where's my card? Where's my card? There we go. A049 is Carmine Red. It's a slightly darker red, but not too dark. I don't know what that's all from. Can you see that? I've got that blue. No idea. The darkest red is the Carmine Red, but you've also got Crimson, which will go after. But we're going to use our darkest red now. Make sure you got a nice sharp point. Thank you, sweet. Thank you. Nice sharp point. Sharp, sharp, sharp. Okay. Now, you're going to go over that magenta, but it's going to pop because it's going to go like a reddy pink. So you're going to go into these and you're going to go with your darkest one. And you're really going to be generous in your colour on this part. But you won't see all these strokes as like it will be dyed down because that's where the other colours come in. So as you can see, I work quite quick on this bit because you don't need to go slow. You're going over that magenta. And when you're going over the magenta, it's going to pop. So you can now, a little bit on that section, you can just, you know, shade that part. Because it will still act as your highlight. It's still a highlight. Yeah, it's going quite hard. Hiya, Becca. That's okay. Thank you for coming on in and saying hello. I hope you're well. Okay, so we're just pressing down, but it makes that magenta pop. Then you put all your sort of shadowing. The shadowing's coming. So if I show you on this section before we move up, if we then go to our, let me just show you before we move to the other colour. If I show you, then on these, as you can see, we're going to bring in A088 and very, very lightly, just in the dark area, only, just in, you're going to grayscale it back with a bit of purple. Just a touch, just not too much. I'm just showing you on this section before we continue and do the rest like in uniform. But I'm just sort of trailing off for a second to show you the end result and how it will look. Yeah. So the purple just gives it. It's a purple. It's a dark purple. It really does make it work. So you're going to think, oh my God, purple in a red hair. Yep. Yep. Okay. Then with that, if you come on back to your rose red, which is your original, if you just go in the middle, very lightly, and then if you then go, I'm just showing you the very end because you put in the black last, go back to your pink macaroon and very lightly, because you're keeping your strokes. The strokes are not going. Yeah, the darker colours are just for the shadows. If you come back to your original colour and you get rid of all that highlight, you don't, you know, it's only in the middle. You're not going to lose your strokes, and I'll show you up close. So you go over that and burnish that in at the middle. You kept your strokes. Strokes are still there. Hi, Star Child. And then if you then, I'm just showing you before we do the whole hair, your black is your very last colour. And that is literally to shadow only. So you can see it's just going to add the depth that you're referring to earlier. You talked about the dark. Well, your black is your dark point, but you're not going to put in the, you're just going to, thanks Karen, you're just going to add that in at the end from a point, use your point, and that is your last colour. And you're going to be quite seldom, you're not going to do that as like a big thing. You're going to be quite selective on where you want that. So if I move that, it goes to a very, can you see if I move it? It's, you still kept all your strokes, but you've also got depth. It's put in some depth. And the thing is with the black, you don't want to add too much of it, because you can always burnish after and put your, you know, your stuff in what you would like to use. So your crimson, which we've not used yet, if you wanted to add a little bit more depth to it, you can just go over your black. And it is just a case of building your pressure and building your colours up so that it pops. And it really does pop. So I'm just kind of going on the flow on it. There we go. And remember not to press too hard, because what will end up happening is you'll end up, if I turn that, can you see it's depth for the colour? See, if you press too hard, you can end up ripping your paper. And it really pops once you add your shadows and you add in your depth. And that is your end result. So you got those colours. And if you didn't do those colours, it'd be a bit more flat. So now we're going to move up. We're going to go back to moving on up. Okay. Yeah, well, your white won't be there because you've done the pink macaroon over it. Thanks, Pickle. And thanks, Charlotte. Okay. I nearly choked then. So I'm going to Carmine Red now. So we're going to do the rest of this. So we're on our third colour, guys. I was just showing you what it's going to end up like. Okay, Carmine Red. Are you all right with me? Because I'm here a while. So we're going to come back to these areas. And we're going to make the bun pop first before we move, because this is going to be very repetitive, whereas this is a lot of directional changes. So I'm just going over the areas that we have already done and also into some of these white bits. so that you've brought the red in. And I'm going from a point and I'm fanning out. Yeah. So you're just kind of keeping with the pattern and you're being very repetitive. So you can also deepen up your side of your bun to make it pop as well. And the same with this area. You know this is really dark and you want to keep that. You can. So just use your strokes and build on up and leave some highlight. So you still got some highlight in there, but it's really, really, really starting to make a difference. So bringing up the Carmine Red and allowing that highlight to come up. Same, you're going to leave a bit of a highlight because your pink's going to play the role of being your happy colour, because it's going to make everything like sort of blend together. Okay, and again, these little bits here this is quite heavily grayscaled on your, if you look, I'll show you the reference. This is very heavily grayscaled in that section. So you're going to keep with that on there as well. Is it okay on your screens, guys? So keep with it, and you can make that sort of deepen up. Is it going really dark? Is it dark and dark, guys? So sorry about the lighting. I think it just for some reason went dark. There we go. So again, I'm just going to bring some of those strokes up. So this section here, bring up those that is Carmine Red. So sorry. You know what I'll do? Is that, there we go. Ah, hi, Mini Hulk. Mini Hulk, bless him. Is he a Marvel fan then? Or is that your name because he's like Hulk and smashes everything? Bless him. I love children. They're absolutely adorable, and it's just they're so innocent, aren't they? It's like the innocence, the nice stage before you learn life is hard. Okay, so again, I'm just bringing those colours together, and we're going to bring some of that into there. And I'm just coming from this point. So use your point, fan it out, go in the directional change. So this goes round. So you're kind of going with it. Yeah, it's the light. Hold on, guys. There we go. Is that a little bit better? It's the light. I've got two big. I've got one. You'll laugh at me. I'll show you what kind of light I've got. You'll be like, oh my goodness, Sam. So I've got two lights. I've got one of those big. One of those, you know, those big studio lights behind me. And then I've got another light, daylight lamp thing that shines all over me. So I've got two big lights. I've got big studio light and daylight lamp. So yeah, I had to make sure I had the right lighting for you all. I'm like, ah. So you haven't got any shadows kind of thing. All right, so we're going in there with the Carmine Red. I'm going to keep them on there, so hopefully they're in the screen. And I'm bringing those strokes down. So you want to see them, but they're covering up some of that. This part here, you want to get rid of some of that. So not too much, just bring some of those in and up into it. Same with this area here. I'm going to bring down some of those strokes, but I want them to go round. So keep with the round, keep with the directional change. Right. I think, oh no, sorry guys, I missed one little bit here. So just on this section. And then we're going to move on to I'm going to bring in the lightest colour again, which was rose red. And just over all of it, I'm just going to very lightly pop the magenta. And I'm just going to lay a little bit in. So you really are just using your grayscaling as a guide. And again, I'm just using quite a medium pressure. I'm not going harsh. So we're nearly there with this part because we're going to move in now. Didn't need a lot of that. This part I'm going to be quite dark with this. So I'm going to get my purple, which is A088, and into the grayscaled areas, I'm going to make those a little bit darker. Hi, Susan Ann. How are you? Yeah, I'm very lit. To say the least. I'm like under a spaceship. That's what I call it, my UFO. You know, when the UFOs come along and they're like, and lift you up. That's what I feel like I'm under. And I'm going to get another one. You'll laugh at me to go the other side. So that you're really lit and you don't have any problem. Yeah, there might have been a little bit. There might have been a little bit. I sometimes see it. It's fine. It does. Thank you for, as I say, if there's any problems, let me know. And if it's something that's on everybody's screens, it's my end. Sometimes it's just how it goes, you know. But if it's something I can adjust, then do let me know. Because I'm under very bright lighting. That's why. It's probably the reason. All right, so I'm using this purple to kind of make it pop a bit. So that middle bit is just going to be a bit darker. Not too much though. And again, I'm going to do the directional change there. Bring some into very lightly into that area. So starting to build it up. Hiya, Rejoice or Joycey. I will be doing a Christmas colour round. Yes, I will. Very shortly. We're going to finish Fairy Miracles and we're going to go over to a Christmas one. I'm just going to bring in pink macaroon. And that is going to go into our highlighted areas only. Not too hard, just enough to take out the white. Take out the white space, but still keep the red. The red and the pink and the purples work really well. They go hand in hand. So just go over these areas. And again, I'm just going to go into these parts, into that part. So anywhere that you see a bit of light, I'm kind of just bringing it all together. You go over that. I think there's a little section there. Hold on, everyone. And then I'm just going to bring in a second. I'm just going to come to this, a Carmine Red. Where is my Carmine? I'll bring my Carmine in a minute. I'm just going to go over that. Make that a little bit more red. So I'm just making sure that I've got this right before I move on. Just not in chat for a second. I'm just concentrating for a minute. So then with our last and certainly not least, we're going to get our black. And you know this part here where it literally goes from like an edge and fans out? I'm going to go there. And the same, we're just going to bring a little bit into this, not much. I'm pressing like super light here. And I really want to just go where the grayscaled areas are only. So you know where you had your darkest points? That is what I'm using. And again, guys, you can use this on any hair, any skin tone, any culture, any portrait picture. The combination, you know, it's universal. Yeah. Here's us the book page. Right. Yeah, it's in the description. I would say they are Melody H. I would say they are. They're a good addition to the sets. They work hand in hand with others, but they're budget friendly as well, which is a good thing. But if you want my opinion, I think the Artezas and the Black Widows are perfect to have in your sets because they can also be used with others. And I definitely think they're an investment of a cheap kind. You know, they're not expensive. The 48 I got, they're super cheap. They're not expensive. You get the 72, which are still cheap and reasonable, but I got the 48, and honestly I'm quite happy with, you know, what I've got. So definitely look at it. If you think of investing in them and you've seen people use them, I definitely think that go for it. You've got nothing to lose really at that price. Obviously, if they were things like luminance and you know you were dubious on doing it and you wasn't sure, I'd say, oh, I can't tell you that because it might be, you know, that you don't like them. But no, I think so. I think they're an investment. Okay, so that bun to me is more or less done. So if I turn it a little bit, can you see the depth and the colour? And it really is a case of, you know, keeping the strands, but having that grayscale with the colours that make them pop are definitely the pink, the purple and the red all together because it makes a difference to how it looks. We're going to move down to here and it's going to be slightly differently laid now. And the reason it's slightly differently laid is because you're just going up and down. You really are just going up and down. This had going here, it's going up here, it's going round here, it's going all around. This here is up and down. That's amazing, Shara. That's what I paid more for that for the 48. So that's brilliant. Okay, so pink macaroon. I'm going to go back. That's fantabulous. Okay, so I'm going to just put this at the side here so that we've got a little... Oh, I need to cut that one down. Bear with me. Lou's going to have kittens at me in a minute because of the sizes of these. Hopefully, can you see that one okay? So it's a pink macaroon, A083. Okay, so now you can go over all of the area. Just go for it now because you're just going to go all over. So a generous lay down, all your white space. If anyone's left and they watch this back and I didn't say bye, I haven't seen it. I'm so sorry. I do miss a lot of chat because I'm doing and I'm sort of explaining. So I miss chat. When I look up and I see something in caps, I try to catch it. But because I'm sort of doing, I miss quite a lot. Okay, so over the entire area with a pink macaroon. You're not taking out grayscale because it's only really, really light. You can see how light it is. It's just taking it out. Oh, Anna, hold on, lovely. Hold on, I'll let you know. The Daenerys type one, I think that's nearer to the end. Bear with me, lovely. So, black hair is number 4. Unicorn's number 5. Strawberry blonde ginger is number 6. Brown hazelnut hair, like, you know, the sort of really nice brown. Oh, number 8 is white ash blonde. So number 7 is brown hazelnut. Number 8 is white ash. Number 9 is grey, dark grey roots. And number 10 is brown caramel ombre hair. But there will be some bonus ones. Pickle, take care, lovely. Thank you so much for your plaque. I love it, and I will be we'll be using it in streams. So thank you so much. And there'll be some bonus ones, but I'll reveal those towards the end. Katrina, it's luminance next on the next one. Okay, so we're going over the next one's luminance. The one after that is prismas, and after that I think it's, I'll have to check, but I will be using different ones. I'm going to use a Black Widow set on one, I think. So we need to do another budget one because we have budget pencils as well. Holbeins will be one of them, obviously. I love those pencils. Oh my goodness. I don't do too much on the channel with them because not a lot of people have them, and I get asked a lot for conversions, and I don't know. I know the lovely Colour with Claire has conversion charts for the Holbein, so if you want to head on over to Colour with Claire, she has got all that amazing information. She does a lot for the colouring community and does a lot of reviews and a lot of comparisons and stuff. So bye, Louie. Thank you so much. Take care, and thank you for joining us. I appreciated it, and it was nice to chat to you. Hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Okay, so we've gone over the entire area with the pink macaroon. Now we're going to go to our A001, which is our rose red. Is that on your screens? Yep. Nice sharp point. And now we're up and down. Now we're up and down. If we add any additional like darkening or anything, I'll do that after. But for now, we're up and down. So I'm going to go from the point here because that's nearest to me. No, actually, I'm going to go from here. We're going to go from this side, I think, because it's nearest to me. So strands, take out your grayscale, meet your bun. That sounds funny. Meet the bun with your pencil and bring it into these areas down. You know, you've got these small highlighted areas. You want to keep those if you can. So take out your grayscale only. So you're looking quite carefully at where the artist has grayscaled the hair and put that into those areas. So you can go around that part. So she's also brought some strands round, so you can add those in. But you're going with it. You're welcome. Okay, so you're kind of bringing that. You see there's quite a few highlighted areas on these sections. So you're coming round and you're following the lines. So the lines are a bit more spaced. So we're following that to start with, and we're flicking out. So as I say, I know I use a Harry Potter reference, but swish and flick. Take care, Katrina. Thank you so much for joining us. Mum, buy gardens. Her autocorrect cracks me up. Take care, Phoenix. I will catch you later. Ciao. Much love back. Thank you for coming on over. Thank you so much. Yeah, so we are adding in just over to the very random, we've got very random strands, haven't we, on this bit. So they're a bit more spaced. So you just keep in with that. If I zoom out a minute, let me zoom out just a second. Black Widow for sure. I really want to use Black Widows. So if you look at it on a grand scale, you can see how like the depth for the colour is really stands out. I love grey hair, Dash. I really do. I love it. I love the dark grey, light grey tones in people's hair and the black bits in it. Love it. Can't wait to do grey hair. So you can see the depth of the colour when you zoom out, and it really does come to life. Susan, it will be in December. So probably next week we will start. We will start in December. And don't forget, guys, I've got the Holly Jolly Christmas tree along over on Instagram as well for December. It's got to have a Christmas tree in it. So we'll be doing one with the Christmas tree, as you will probably guess. And I'm also waiting for my Serene to hurry up, and it's on its way. So I can do my Buddy Serene, which will be not just November, it will be carried over to December, guys, because I haven't got my copy yet. I was hoping it would be here by now so I can join in my own like subscriber and channel buddy color, but it's not arrived. No such luck. Hi, Dorothy. I didn't even see you there. Yeah, Susan, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. I'll let you know over on my Facebook when I picked it out. Oh, really? Asian red and colouring sounds. I love this deep red. It's like out of a bottle, isn't it? No, that's what I said. It's out of a bottle, dyed hair. So these parts, you're taking out the grayscale again. So you're following that pattern of events because it is a pattern of events. It's keeping with the same thing over and over. So you're following those lines. You're not swaying from it. So this has got a slight curve. So go with the curve. And bring that up into the white space. But release the pressure so you still got the highlight. Okay. So again, I'm still following that pattern, and this is quite dark, so I'm really, you can see how my hand kind of goes. So we'll follow this red before we move on. So very therapeutic to do, I find, if you're enjoying it and you're enjoying what you're sort of I know it's got a pattern where you're sort of doing the same thing over and over, but I find that as quite relaxing, especially if you're having a day where you just need some zen and you just want to relax. It's quite nice to know where you're going with things and the same pattern that you want to follow. Okay, so you can see that I'm bringing those in. We've got a lot of highlight left, which is what I want. And then again, I'm bringing this up. And I am allowing that pressure of the pencil to lessen on my way up. So you're following direction, you're following the pattern. And you can turn your pencil to keep to the, like a sharp edge. So when you turn, it keeps it. You can see? Again, I'm going to do that same. Allow the middle. Keep the middle part. You can hear that's my arm on the mat that I've got underneath. So bring that up. So yeah, I'm going to do 5 bonus episodes after to this hair series, which will be slightly different. So keep an eye out and planning them. And when we get to like episode 9, I will reveal, because I would have planned it by then. I'm quite organised these days, as you can tell. Although I wasn't last night because, as I said, I couldn't sit to sort of catch up with Fairy Miracles. So we'll do that Thursday. Okay. So I'm bringing that to the middle. Again, I'm leaving quite a big highlighted area. Honor, sweetheart, we got all of December this time round. Sorry about knocking the camera for a second. We got all of December. It's fine. I'm extending it for 2 months because I haven't got my book. Okay. So I'm allowing that to come up. Are you all with me still? I know it could, I hope it's entertaining enough to watch the same thing, but you can't, that's what it is with hair. Okay, so again, you're kind of allowing all of that grayscale to go. You can't see the grayscale because the grayscale's lost because it's now been taken over by red, apart from these bits. So we're going to make these all stand out. So follow that around. There we go. So we're following it. Hi, Lynette. So there we go. We are going over these grayscale parts. And bringing that up. And now this goes in a directional change. Thank you, lovely. So directional change, you're going sideways now. Still with the same colour, we're not changing yet. Might as well keep with it. So keep from the point, find your points and bring it down. And just keep with it, just keep going. And then on this part, it's quite heavy. So now you can kind of like go to town with that. So come up. And I'm going to join it up. And that's what I'm going to sort of keep with. And then here as well. So all these little tiny hairs that go into the like back of your neck, you know, those little ones when it's up in a bun, you can see them. So allow those to show with strokes because they are, aren't they? When you put your hair up, you can see them as strokes. So you can bring that down. So we've already got a nice little shine coming on. Thank you so much, Charlotte. Thank you for coming on over and I will see you soon. So thanks for everyone that's joined me today and you are doing this hair series with me. It really is a ton of fun to do, ton of fun to prepare. And so for me, the best part is seeing people's like excitement and the results. So I love it. I'm like, oh my goodness, that person's done it. Or this person, I'm showing Andrew. I'm like, look. It's like, yeah. I sort of go into bed and I'm showing at night, I sort of catch up with stuff on my phone and I'm like, oh, this person's done it or this person. I still get excited. So I still can't believe that, you know, people take the time to follow and I appreciate it so much. And I hope, as I said, that this channel continues and we, you know, broaden our horizons now with our mediums because we've got so many to play with and we've got so much to learn and we've got so much to pass on to each other. And, you know, I think colour alongs are great, so they'll continue. Okay. Yeah, grayscale is harder. It is harder, without a doubt. Okay, so as you can see, I've taken out the grayscale, yeah? That's all you're doing, you're taking it out. This middle bit, you can make sure that you just put more strands in on this section. So you've left a bit more of a highlight here. That's a bit more highlighted. You're going to have pinks in that. But this area is a little bit on the darker side. So with the darker side, you make sure that it's a heavier lay down on that red. And we're going to go directional changing again. So we're going to bring, the thing is just find the motion of the hand. So come round and curve it round and just keep curving and keep going with it. So you can see, you curve it, you come up. No, Anna, did you send something? Oh my goodness, no, I haven't. I'd be straight on the phone to you. Oh my gosh. You all melt me. Totally melt me. Okay, so I am just adding in on the top. Oh no, wait till you watch the other one. Oh, it's just, can't put it into words. I really can't. I can't. Everyone, I'm just speechless. Oh, Janet, me too. I'll be here as long as I can, till I drop. We'll say that, till you drop, or until YouTube stop. Let's hope they continue, eh? Because all these platforms, you find in the end they stop or they start charging, but I don't think YouTube will. Okay, so I'm bringing in, it's all this, I don't know what this article 13 is. I keep getting pop-ups about it on my YouTube, which would change the internet and how it works. So I hope that doesn't sort of all go ahead, but we'll, you know, I'll keep an eye out for that kind of thing anyway. All right, so as I said, I'm bringing in the pressure and allowing those strokes to come down. I'm going with a directional change. And with these parts, I think I'll leave that there. I'm going to do this first and we'll do the bottom of it in a minute. So I'm going to get from the bun. And once this first colour's down, you've got it. You just got to add in. Take care, Shara. Thank you for coming over. Hi, Sam. Okay, so I've got to move my body now to the side so I could do this. Okay, so I'm coming here. I'm going to speed it up a bit. So I'm going to bring down. The top will be a bit of pressure. I'm going to do short, sharp strokes there. And around this part, I'm going to make sure that that's, you know, completely sort of blocked off. So I'm going to go in a little bit heavier with a firm sort of pressure. As you can tell, I'm trying to speed it up a little bit. So you're kind of bringing it down. And then again, I'm gonna have to turn it, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to. I can't. Otherwise, I can't do it. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this up so you can see. I'm gonna now meet that grayscaling and allow the middle to have a bit of a highlight. But some parts is obviously going to be a little bit darker, so you can kind of just stroke it away. So stroke it up. There we go. And this is same with that. That's like a really dark section, so you can continue doing that. I have to turn it because otherwise I can't do this angle for you. It's only on this little bit here. So just keep going with your strokes, meet it, but allow, don't worry about that bit. Put that out. Go from a middle sort of point, a midpoint. Right, so you can start to see there's a build up. Oh no, thank you so much. Oh. You'll know straight away. As I say to everyone, open your windows, you'll hear me. Hold on, everyone. That's it. Okay. So again, I'm gonna have to just fold that up a bit. All right. So we're nearly done with this first. Well, this is the second color, isn't it? The last part, the last line, I'm going to say the last leg, won't actually be too much because it's going to add definition to it for sure. But we haven't got to go overboard because we've got a lot of the lay down there, haven't we? So we need to just match it up to the bun. But because it's one sort of direction, now we've got the sort of highlights, lowlights, and how we're going to have, I'm just going to just turn that a minute, guys. Because we've got the highlights and lowlights in, the last leg of it won't be hard because we've got it there. Okay. So again, I'm going to bring these points in as well. This part will bring up, meet in the middle, but release your pressure of your pencil. So we'll keep with it. Are we all still with the ride? Because I know it's quite a long one for people, and you have lives. So if you need to go do your thing. If there's any other people on or streaming, you know, don't be worried to go over. I appreciate everyone being here, but I know this part's going to be quite repetitive. So if you are watching this back and you are with me on like playback, it won't matter because you can pause and come back. But for those of you that are here in chat, you know, if you need to go at any point, do go and do your thing. Okay, so we've kind of got that now started. Thanks, Lou. So that is our second colour. Now we're looking at adding in just now it's defining it. We've kind of got our base going. We've got our template going. Now we're going to start defining it. So now we can go to A025, which is magenta. A025 is going to be our... Oh, thanks, Sam. That means a lot to me when people say things like that, because I just like to, you know, stream and be with everyone and make sure that the content is good for people. Oh, excuse me, I had a little hiccup in my throat then. Okay, so magenta. And now you can start to add that in now. I'm not going to be as heavy as I was in the bun, because the bun was a lot deeper. It's a lot deeper in sort of depth because it had a lot more grayscaling because of all the directional change. So I'm going to add some in so you can see it, especially on these parts. You see where that grayscaling is there? That's why I left some of the grayscaling. So I've been very selective. Oh, Sam, so you're Samantha Jane as well. Sam Brown has got the same middle name as me. We're both Samantha Janes. That's so cool. I love things like that. Like, I love learning things like that. I'm like, twin, you're twinning. So all these bits that I've left grayscaled, you can see, I'm going to put I'm just going with lines, like paintbrush really. So I'm just adding that in. Just lining it up. So you can see like the different sort of things that are going in. Ah, bless your heart. Okay. As long as you enjoy your hobby, I always say this to everyone, that is all it matters, all that matters. And never compare your journey to someone else's, because it's just as fabulous. And it's yours. No one can take it away from you. Your colouring journey is yours, and what it means to you is yours. Okay, so I'm going to bring a strand out there. And this grayscaling, I'm going to put the magenta in there. So I'm kind of going over where I've left some of that grayscale visible. So all these grey bits that you might still see, that's where the magenta's going. So I'm being quite generous here. Yeah, can you see like it's starting to build it up? Ah, Lynette, I know, I'm with you. Wish it better, your pain. That's why I put it in the description of the channel, guys, is battling chronic pain together. So we can have this as an escape. So it's a channel to escape. Okay, and learn and have fun. And do colour alongs mostly. Okay, so we're just adding in the magenta. And again, I'm going over all these areas that I've grayscaled up and left some. So I've left some here. So we'll add it in. As I say, I'm like a paintbrush here. You're kind of just paintbrushing it out. Lynette, I'm not sure. I'm not in many groups. If you send me a link, I'll have a look. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm in Joanna ones. So definitely send me a link over on Facebook or Instagram. If you're on my Instagram, private message me. I'm mostly over lurking about on Instagram and browsing pictures on there, and when I go online. After the streams, I'm not around for a bit because I have to go and obviously do life and cook and do stuff or lay down, whether or not if I'm in pain. But if I then catch up, then I will. I'll have a look. Okay, so, right, I've added the magenta in. That's as much magenta as I want. Don't be sorry, Desiree. I was worried. I was making sure you're okay. I said earlier, is Desiree here? Yes, okay, lovely. Don't ever be sorry. Okay, if I zoom out, you can see where I've put the magenta. Ah. Yeah, so you can start to see it's going to end up like this, but we've left a lot more highlight into these areas so that you'll see why, because we're going to go in after with our pink macaroon. So if you're following this along, when you saw me going in, it was on the darker grayscale areas only. So just onto those dark parts we've gone, like we're going sort of like this over it, like a little paintbrush. Then you can go back in with your lightest colour, which we used at the beginning, which was your A001. We try and do that at the top. So if you can see, we go down to our A001. Hold on, guys. Let me zoom you back in. As long as you can see the colour in the corner. This one, you can really firmly press in now, firm. So you don't need super sharp, but firmly press the strands in to pop the colour out. You see it starts to make it really pop. And again, you're going to meet that up. So you can keep turning your pencil to keep it to a relatively sharp point. Just a little tip. So turn it every time you come up. Do a couple of strands and turn. You see the difference? It starts to really make it pop. And then in that middle, you're going to put the pink. So go over your magenta. The magenta makes the rose red really stand out. So your layers are everything in this, guys. Like personally, I think so. You know, as I said, if you want a base, you can do marker base. You don't have to do this base. Oops, 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 oops. 1 minute, everyone. There we go. Okay, so again, I'm going to come into this area, but I'm going upwards. I'm not going down. I'm going up. And then this area here, very lightly, put this colour in. So it just takes it out a little bit. Then I'm just going to, sorry about my hand being in the way, I'm going to have to try and do it from this side. This grayscaled area here. So bring that up, swish it out. And as I said, thank you so much for just keeping with the ride with me. But I hope that you find this useful to anyone that watches this back. And then the very top. Oh, thanks, Phoenix. Bless your heart. The very top of it. We're going to really make this stand out now. So you can now go outwards. Out, 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 out. Yeah, just kind of keep with it. So we've got quite a few highlights. And here, I'm going to keep that as a highlighted area. So you know what I'm going to do now? Now I'm going to bring in pink macaroon. Makes me want to eat it. Oh, I'm frank. Did you see that? I'm doing tricks. Doing tricks. Okay, now you're going into your pink macaroon. But not hard. I'm not going hard. I'm just blending out that white. That's all I'm doing. I'm not going hard. I'm sort of blending it out. My strokes are still visible. So I'm only going into white areas. Just white. Same here. Very lightly. White areas only. And it just takes out that white area. Now we're going to go over to here. We're going to bring in our shadows. Our shadows now will go from the underneath. So I'm going to bring A088 and heavily grayscaled areas only with this. So you'll see from your points where your heavy grayscale is. So it's going to be here. I'm going to bring up a little bit here. So you start to see the difference. It brings in a little bit of depth. Oh, thanks, Bella. I'm glad. This is the whole point in them. Okay, we're going to go underneath the bun so it makes that stand out. You're not doing a ton of purple. You can tell that I'm just bringing in some. We're going to bring in some here. Hold on, I'm going to muffle a drink. Sorry about knocking the camera there. Is it Joanna Basford? Your Pages, I think it's called, isn't it? Hold on, everyone. Just bear with me 2 seconds. Bear with me. Oops. Okay, sorry about that. I was just checking something. Okay. So the purple isn't too much, just a small amount. I'm going to bring some extra strands out. So I'm just going to strand it out here and here. And there's a couple of extra strands here that's going from the root. And again, I'm just going to bring a little bit round, like, so you know here, you've got the bun. So if you just very lightly, otherwise you'll take out your red. I'm going to additionally add in just a few little strands there. Okay, so we're almost there. We're on the home stretch. Take care, Phoenix. Thanks so much. Thank you, Kathy. Oh, okay. Yeah, Claire Holloway does everything. Joanna, doesn't she? Everything. Okay, so we're going to go to our Carmine Red now. It's going to be our last one before we put black on, and then we're done. So we're going to do all the finishing touches now. So I'm going to bring in my Carmine Red, and now I'm going to go sort of where I've gone with the purple, but the purple's still present. This just makes it a little bit more sort of fire red, if that makes sense. So I'm going over to these areas. And I'm pressing pretty firm to make it pop. She did a podcast as well, didn't she, Claire Holloway? I'm sure she did, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure I've listened. I've listened to them all. I'm just trying to think. I've got the latest one, Peter Hewitt's, to do as well. I'll listen to that at some point over the weekend, this coming weekend or Friday. Okay, so I'm just allowing that red to press quite firm and allow the deep, deep red. We're nearly there. We've got our finishing touches. And this kind of is a finishing touch. So it kind of just gets all this sort of red look, the deep red look. So if you've got any additional bits that you want to add in, don't forget, you can kind of just go in lightly with it. Same with these sort of areas if you don't want it too like in your face, kind of. I'm just going to zoom out for a second. We are so nearly there, so nearly there. So I'm going to add the black. And the black, why I've zoomed out, as you can see where it goes. Oh, thanks, Rick. I tell you as I go along. I don't, anything that I sort of pick up or learn, I teach as well. I'm not a teacher or anything. I'm not in art. It's just I tell you my techniques. We've all got something that we can, pass on. All of us have got something that we found out because we're doing it so often. It becomes something like our life, doesn't it? So I'm pressing at pressure roughly, let me show you, like this. Yeah, this is dark. So you can see the difference in my pressures that I'm going. So just into the darkest grayscaled areas only, and allow some of those strands up, not many, because otherwise it will overrun it. Go underneath slightly the bun. It just deepens and darkens up a little bit. Same with bringing some of those black strands up. And then if we need to burnish any more red in to sort of deepen it up, we will do, till we're happy with the result. Okay. So again, I'm just going to bring some of those little strands from the root. So you've got all these little bits. So bring them up. Follow that pattern. And it is super light. So you can see the difference. Kind of made it all deep. I know. Take care, Karen. Thank you so much for joining. Have a good day. So you can see the difference in how much layering certain colours, certain reds, certain pinks, certain purples can sort of do. It can really make things like in your face stand out. And as I said, if you're wanting a deeper, even deeper colour, you can always go back to a light red, like your I'm just giving you an example, and you can always really firmly press in some if you wanted to make it a little bit more red and pop out. It's entirely up to you, but you don't want to overrun it, but you do want it to be more of a fiery red. So you can just allow a deep sort of pressure, and I really am pressing deep, from the root, and allow that in, and it just enables that to pop. And it really will stand out. See, it makes such a difference. So you bring that from there as well. And just, your strokes are so visible right now that you can see it all. I just kind of... Oh, yeah, no, Claire Callaway, I think, isn't it? Yeah, no, yeah. Okay, and I think I'm pretty happy with her. And as I said, you can tweak. So now I just sort of explain everything, what we've done, and recap. So we've gone in, if you're doing this, yeah, they are. They really are. Okay, so we've gone in with base, and as I said, a pink base of macaroon is this one. So I just a recap. And then when you're going in with then straight with strokes, so you're putting a base first, just take out your white spaces. Then you go in with a very light red, which in the Artesias is the A001. Then you're bringing in like the magenta. And the magenta is A025, which is a pinky tone, but it goes hand in hand with the reds. Then you're going to bring in another red, which is the Carmine, or the crimson, sorry. And then you're going to add the purple and the black in the very grayscaled dark areas, and you can burnish in with your crimson red. So it is a case of mixing all of them to get the achieved result. Now you can, as I said, if you're wanting this even deeper, but it's deep enough. But if you're wanting it very, very deep, take care, Sam. I'm going to call you Sam J, like me. Take care, Sam J. SJ, I like that. So you can go in with your deep Carmine Red again, and you know, it's entirely up to you how you'd like to do it, but just go over what you've previously done if you wanted to darken and deepen up the reds only. So you can tweak it, and you can add more highlights, lowlights, and do whatever you would like to do with it. But that is going to be roughly your achieved and desired result. And if you wanted to then after on this, you can then add your skin tones in. But I've really enjoyed this one. And as I said, the Artesias are a budget pencil. I've got the 48. I haven't got the 72. You don't need the 72, but that is the pencils we've used. And I know it's quite a long amount and a long time and a very repetitive nature of, like, you know, what you're doing with your hand. but it really does make a good result when you've taken the time to do it. And if you really don't want to, you can marker base it. And if you've got anything like wrong with arthritis in your hands or your hand seize up, take it over time. You don't have to do it. I know, Amberly. I know. Yeah, I'm so flabbergasted by that. So you take your time with it. I mean, this has only taken 2 hours and it's not long. Catherine, that's okay. They're amazing, aren't they, Amberly? I'm loving them. So I highly recommend, if you want to try the Artezas, you don't have to buy the full set, although the full set are very, very, very budget friendly. This is a 48 set, which is under $20 easily. And it's under £20 in the UK. So I highly recommend trying them. If you want to try something this Christmas and you don't want to really spend a lot of money, you can try the Artezas for sure. No, I didn't draw it. I just did the hair colour because we started off with an image like this and we've ended up with an image like that. So I do hope you enjoy this. Now, I really need to catch up with Fairy Miracles Pain Dependent. So hopefully I'll be here Thursday. If you don't see me Thursday, it's just pain. Just know that. But we've achieved this with our Artezas, which are budget friendly. So it just shows you what budget friendly pencils can do if you take the time to use them. When you do them, of course it is. Thank you so much, Janet. And, oh, you're getting the luminance. Congratulations. So I'm going to end it there, everyone. Thank you to Susie Lou, my lovely Lulu, Susie, Melody, and Pickle for your amazing kind gifts on Stream 1. Stream 1, if you haven't watched it, guys, is a mega happy mail. Epic. So you can pop on over to that and have a peek. Thank you so much for joining me. I will hopefully see you Thursday, if not for sure on Saturday. And do remember to show me over on Instagram, Facebook group, the Reading with Pugs colouring, all of those. Pop over to Reading with Pugs, Jen. Her channel is Reading with Pugs on YouTube. She's got the information for the group over there. So thank you so much, everyone. And you all have an amazing day and evening wherever you are. I will see you hopefully Thursday, if not Saturday, but definitely with Fairy Miracles. Lots of love, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you on the next video.